As you mentioned, it took a long way to get here. I'm from Kenya, Nairobi. And on Wednesday, our main international airport burned down, pretty much. So I almost didn't make it here, but I'm very glad that I got here. I was told that nobody's looking forward to this talk, so I hope you all had asked the guy before me all the hard questions. I think in terms of Agile, some of you guys are probably like contortionists, and I'm still like learning the way. So, my name is Trevor. I'm a software maker at an agency called Sprout. We've only been around for about a year, and we're a digital marketing agency. So I don't know how many of you have ever worked in such a space. Prior to that, I was working as an enterprise consultant, so I used to be building systems for telcos. This was in Australia. I did that for a couple of years, and then decided that I needed a big change. Just by a show of hands, how many of you guys have watched Mad Men? Mad Men, the TV show? I just want to know how many people I'm going to alienate by this ridiculous plot device that I've chosen. Yeah, I reckon most of the people here are software developers, so I should have picked Office Space or one of those other techie shows, but I'm a big fan of Mad Men. I've always wanted to do something really creative, so when I decided that I'm not going to be doing enterprise software anymore, I had to pick the most crazy thing that I could think of. And advertising was it. So I also kind of dressed up for the 50s, so that's why I'm looking a bit formal. I'm usually a lot less formal. Cool. So software maker, why do I call myself a software maker? I think I've always wanted to be able to explain what I do to like a 3-year-old. And enterprise architect is kind of hard to explain. We all sort of do different software. So some people do backend, some people are pixel pushers. Any pixel pushers here? That's front-end developers, yeah. So I just do all kinds of software, and that's why I kind of settled on the name software maker. So why did I want to go into advertising? Pretty much. I thought it was a very glamorous space. Drink, smoke, come up with crazy ideas. I actually changed, it was supposed to be drink, smoke, and something very vulgar that I changed. I changed that to create. And that's what I wanted. So if any of you have not watched Mad Men, it's sort of set in the 50s, and it shows an ad agency in Manhattan. And these guys came up with the name Mad Men. So it's a very, I find it like very exciting thing to get into. However, a few months into it, I was like, oh shit, this is not what I signed up for. Yeah, it looks like this is my favorite show, and it crossed with dead men walking. You know. Horrible. It wasn't as exciting or glamorous as I thought it was. And that got me thinking, why? Why is it that advertising or digital marketing is different to what I've been doing before? Why isn't it as exciting as, you sit down in a room, you come up with an idea, you sell it to your client, you make money, you get paid? What is so hard about advertising? What turned this dream that I have into, like zombies walking around? So let me take you a bit back in time. Advertising is very basic. What we do is we sell things. We tell people that it's okay, buy this cup of coffee, you're going to enjoy it. That's what we do. But it's kind of changing, because nowadays everyone can kind of get away from all the messages that we give you. How many people here have a PVR? I'm sure you'll skip over the ads, apart from if it's the Super Bowl or something. So the mediums that the advertisers have been targeting are reducing every day. And this is pretty much how advertising works. So the client there says, I'm trying to sell this water. I love water, it's a great example. You can drink water from the tap, or you can buy one of these expensive bottles with flavor and all that stuff. So the client wants to sell the water. He comes to an agency, he comes to Sprout and says, hey, I've got this really cool water that I want to sell. How are you guys going to do it? So we come up with ideas, go into production. But our target is the medium. So traditionally how it used to work was, if I'm making a TV spot for you, I'll get 15% out of the commission for booking the ad. 15%. That's quite a bit. So if you've got a marketing budget of $1 million, what's 15% of that? 150. Yeah. So pretty much the industry served the medium. Creative was just an add-on. It was actually free. The guys that used to pay for it are, if I'm booking a radio spot, if I'm booking a TV spot, that's where the money was. The actual ad itself didn't matter. This is just like a really funny example of how that whole process works. So the client comes and says, hey, I want to shout. And then client service says, what do you want to shout about? And then the account planner says, don't worry, I know where they are, I know where we're going to shout at them. And the media planner comes and says, yeah, they're on Facebook, they're on TV, they're on radio, we're going to get them. And then the art directors and the creative directors are my favorite people. They love to sit in the corner office, well lit, and they love to think that they levitate, their ideas are awesome. So they're the ones who tell you, yeah, I can make your water look cool, I can make it look awesome. And the production house is where your software developers are going to be. They're going to be in the basement, working, installing tools. And then the media channel, that's your TV, radio, online movies. So that's how that whole process works. Typically, you'd have a team of all those people. So there's a few ad guys here for marketing agencies. So there's 1 or 2 different roles that might not be here, but pretty much that's how it works. And that's your hierarchy in a typical agency. So you've got your business director. These are the people who are innovating on the commercial side of things. So they're the ones who take the clients out for coffee, drinks, golf. And then you've got your creative directors who are the ones who come up with all the awesome ideas. So those are pretty much your 2 centers of power. Cool, so that was a really quick overview of advertising and how it works. You guys can all walk out and be great. So I got myself thinking, so what's the problem? Why am I having such a hard time fitting into this? Why am I still working late on the weekends? I thought I left that stuff when I was a software developer. And I was reminded of this quote by Roger Stelly. He's like the account director in this show. And he's like, getting a client, sometimes you get a client for the wrong reason. I'm sure everyone's had that situation where you get offered a job, and the turnaround time is really short, and you accept it, and then later on you end up getting stuff. So that's one of the reasons I realized, the problem that we have is we're taking on things without really thinking about them too much. And the second thing I thought was, we're doing this for the wrong reasons. We're selling, I was thinking to myself, what's our service to the client? Are we booking time for them, or are we managing the communication? And I realized that we've sort of been focusing on the wrong thing. That's why I say it's like we've got the clients for the wrong reasons. So what are the right reasons? What's our product? Typically, the start of our engagement is we go and pitch for a job. So that's actually a product. We come up with you tell us your problem, we come up with an idea. If you like it, you'll sign us up. If you don't, you'll just thank us for our time. It's a very, very intensive thing. It's very, very annoying, especially when you don't get it. The other products that we have are if we're doing a website or if we're managing a campaign for you. So it's not just, we're not just building software. We are special. Just joking. I was saying that we have quite a few products, and I had to figure out which ones am I, how do I apply the same processes to all these different products or services? There's also the challenge of new media. So we're a digital ad agency. we see ourselves as being different to traditional ad agencies. So we don't do TV spots, we don't do radio, we don't do print ads, we just do purely digital stuff. So new media is something that we've had to deal with, obviously. And I always like this illustration of this guy sitting there. Because everyone agrees, the internet is big, it's going to take over the world. All right, so I'm sure this is what you're really curious about. So how do we do it? How do we handle deadlines? How do we make sure that we're not working on Saturdays? How do we make sure that we're not disappointing our clients? Because we have, like everyone else, we have very, very demanding clients. That's what we like to think anyway. And the way I'm going to explain this is what works for us. It might not work for you, because you're all special.